Welcome to my channel. My name is Hans. Today we're going to be talking about the Insta360 OneR. This is the twin edition, so I have the 360 camera and the 4K front-facing camera, side-facing camera, back-facing camera, whatever you want to call it, because you can move all these parts around. Let's open this thing up and I'm going to show you. I've already used it. I just thought the packaging was cool, so wanted to show you what it looks like when it comes to your front door. Look at this package right here. See how it reflects? Not the whole package, but just the lens. That is brilliant. You have your battery. You've got your 360 lens right here. You want to be really careful with these. Don't scratch them. It says that it's got hardened glass on it, but do something to protect it because they do scratch, trust me. So these are pretty cool. They come apart so you can move them around, flip them around. So if you want your screen to be on the back, you could do that. Or if you're vlogging or something and you want your screen to be on the front, you can move it to the front. And then your battery pack just sits on the bottom here. Whoops, how do I have that? Battery pack sits on the bottom here. Just like that. And you're good to go. That is the front facing camera. Now, if I wanted to change it and put the 360 camera, or if I wanted to have it so that the screen was on the back side and the lens was on the front, it's just as easy as flipping that thing around. We'll pop this battery back on it, and boom, we are in business. Oh man, I turned it on. I'm recording, you guys. I'm recording. Smile. It's pretty easy. It's really nice. The screen is actually a touch screen, so you could swipe it and get through your different settings. I gotta say, I'm really impressed with this thing. It's really nice. So I have an old Porsche 944 that I've been restoring. If you haven't seen that video, go ahead and click the link somewhere. I'll put it somewhere so you can see that one. I went out today and I shot some stuff with that. So I took a suction cup mount and I suction cupped it to the side of the car and the back of the car, and I was pointing the camera kind of wherever I wanted to. The cool thing about this 360 stuff is it's shooting everything all around you. So you shoot everything, then you are able to take on your phone, you connect wirelessly to the brain of this, and you're able to actually do all your edits. You don't have to import all the footage that you're not going to use. You can trim it up and you do all your effects, and then when you're finished with all of the effects and everything you want to do, you export that, and it's only taking up the room on your phone of the finished product. Really think that was a brilliant idea on their side. GoPro, I know that to use their Quick app, you have to import all of the footage that you want to use and then say, import that into Quick and make me a movie. Here's the song. And this has the same kind of thing. I'm going to take all this footage and put it together. We're going to make a little video and we're going to see what it looks like when we post it up on the interweb. So let's fire up that Porsche. As you can see, I had a pretty fun day. These things are awesome because you can actually shoot everything without thinking about it. Just put it where you want it, and then you get to change the angles later in post. You're not really locked in. After you do one edit, you can go back and erase all the keyframes and start over and do a whole nother edit if you want to. Pretty cool, pretty fun. I'm going to get into the app and show you guys a lot more in depth how it works. But right now, I'm going to show you just a really quick clip as far as my favorite clip for the day. I just set the camera on the side of the road with a tripod, and I did my little burnout, and I kind of went by the camera knowing that everything is going to be captured. So then I went back in post and I was able to track the image as I went through, and I actually did key points, but there's also a tracking function that will actually track it just as well. This was the shot of the day. It was kind of a long one, but you can see down here there are keyframes. So as that's moving, if I was to reset all of those keyframes, the camera wouldn't have followed the car. So I got to choose exactly where I wanted that thing to go. So if I go back here, I also get to choose on each one of these keyframes what the aspect ratio is. Okay, so let's start here. So we're facing the wrong direction in the first place. So right here, I want to add a keyframe. So boom. Then you get to choose if you want to be wide or linear or narrow, or if you want to just keep it ultra wide. You could do tiny planet, ultra wide. So I could actually do a little push right here. So I have my first keyframe set. So as I walk in, I can add another keyframe and I can go linear. So this is cool because it looks like I'm pushing in as I walk forward. We can change it right here so that it kind of does this slow pan back to the car. So let's go here and then do this. And you can also change the direction of the video. This is where you do those barrel rolls that I was showing you. You know, this particular shot probably doesn't ask for one of those. So let's put that back to 0. And then we're going to come back out to this. Let's get rid of this keyframe. Boom. Let's put the camera where we want it, add the keyframe, and then we can say we're going back to ultra wide. So now when we play this back, I'm zooming in, and then as the camera moves back, I kind of pulled back. And then let's say that we want, as the car is pulling out, we want to zoom in. So let's put one here that's going to hold the position of that. Let's put another one here that's actually going to go to narrow. So now you'll see there's going to be a really fast push right there. Right there. And that's going to make it look like we zoomed in a little bit. Now, there's a couple different ways to deal with this next step. So what I was doing is I was saying, okay, the car's out of frame here. Let's add a key. Well, let's add the key. Let's move the shot where we want it. Add the keyframe, and then let's go ahead and play that back and see how it worked. That's pretty good. I mean, that's how I did it. There's another way to do it. So if we eliminate all of these keyframes, tap and hold it, see how it's got that tracking mark around it? Now, as the frame moves out, it's going to track that perfectly. It's actually zooming in on the object. Now it went away. So it's going to continue to track, I think, for a second here. Oh, it stopped. Okay. So now we're going to come back to the point where we come back into the frame, track that object. See how it automatically does that? There's a marker here we want to delete. Okay, so here's our object. It's found it. It's zoomed in. Now, I would say that did a better job tracking it than I did. it's really cool, and the things that you can do are just endless with this app. So have fun with it, play with it, mess around with it. The flow state stabilization is insane. If you guys have tried the GoPro 8, it's as good as that, I think, hands down, like side by side. It is really, really good. And the GoPro 8 is really, really good too. So they call theirs flow state. It's got tracking that's amazing. You can do 8 times slow motion in the 4K front facing camera, and in the 360 camera you can do 4 times slow motion. That's pretty cool. The tracking thing is super awesome. That's the one thing I'm really impressed with. Even if you have a skier that's like in the frame, then goes out of the frame, going behind an object or something, and comes back out, it'll guess where it's going to be and pick the subject back up. It's really cool. HDR night shot. Night shot's really cool. I did a little, I'll show you my little time lapse I did. But basically you're able to go in, do a time lapse, edit it really quick with the effect that you want to have, and export it, and it's really cool. So they put a lot of time into the post-production of this as well. This is one thing I really was a little disappointed about. There's no way to hold this or capture it without having this case. And I don't mind the case, but it's just kind of one more thing that, you know, you don't need. I have noticed that the audio isn't quite as good when you're using this case as well. This thing is really cool. The image that I got out of it was pretty good. I'm blowing this up to 1080, so I'm not really sure how good this is going to look. I can't wait to find out, so let's do it together. Thank you guys for watching, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask, and you'll see me in the next video.